Welcome to lesson 12, our final lesson of Knitting 101, and today we are going to block our finished object. Now the purpose of blocking is a couple of reasons. Number one, when you block something, it takes out these uneven edges that are right here where your work has kind of pulled in. This happens especially with more elastic stitches like ribbing. Your work can kind of twist to the sides with doing yarn overs and knit togethers. So it's to even out your work, to stretch it back into shape, but it also helps to set your stitches. Once it gets wet and then dries and you've pushed it and pulled it into the shape that you want it to be, it helps it to hold that position. So the whole process with blocking is washing it in a wool wash or just a mild detergent, and then you stretch it out on blocking boards. Now I do have blocking boards, but as you'll see in the video, I used my ironing board because I realized not everybody has blocking boards, and I wanted to try to do this on something that everybody had. If you don't have an ironing board, you can just take some towels and lay them flat, lay them several layers thick and lay it flat and use that as well. So let's get started. I'm just going to turn it right over to the video now, and you can watch me blocking our finished cowl. Now what I have, you can use Woolite, you can use dishwashing liquid. I got this from the Dollar Tree for, of course, $1. I'm going to put water in here that is just not cold, but not warm either, because if your yarn has a little bit of wool or cotton in it, you don't want it to shrink. And just putting a little bit in the sink. I'm going to put maybe 2 teaspoons in, not much. Swish it around. You can see I've got bubbles going now. And I'm going to put my work in there. Make sure you submerge it well. Maybe a little bit more water here. You want to make sure it's completely wet all the way around. Yeah. And you're going to leave it to soak for about 20 minutes. Alright, 20 minutes are up, and we're going to drain the water. And then you're going to rinse this until there's no more soap in it. If your yarn had some dye in it, if it was something naturally dyed, you might get color coming out of it. This is acrylic, so nothing like that is happening. And you just want to rinse it until you have no more soap. Don't overdo it with the wringing and washing if you are using a natural fiber, because you don't want it to felt. But this is acrylic, so it's not going to hurt it a bit. Okay, I've got all the soap out of it. I'm going to give it one last wringing to get most of the water out. You want it to be almost dry by the time you finish. And then we'll take it to the blocking board. And this is my ironing board, and I have a towel just folded over several times. And here is the cowl. And I could have blocked this before I seamed up the sides, but it would have required a larger space to do the blocking, and I wanted this to work for most people who might not have a blocking board. So I wanted to do something that would be small and easy. Now, as you can see, everything is pretty squared at this point for the most part,
And I have, you can see these bright pins right along here. These are the pins that have heads on them. That's the type I prefer, just so I can find them again. And you're just gently going to pull these into a square shape. Remember, you are going through two pieces, the front and the back, because it is knitted, or it is, because it is seamed at this point, you are going through two layers. So make sure you're blocking both layers through the pins at the same time. And then you're just going to lay this out to dry. Now, there is a thing called aggressively blocking. What that would be, if you had natural fibers, you could really stretch this out and make this much bigger than what it is, and it would open up the lace work. But because this is acrylic, it is really not going to stretch out a whole lot. So all I am doing is just evening my edges out so I don't have it drawn in at those different sections like the ribbing section. So here it is, and you're just going to wait till it dries. So you just give it a couple days, unpin it, and you're all ready to go.
And here you have it, the finished product. This is our Knitting 101 cowl. I hope you've enjoyed making it. I made mine short. I didn't make mine additionally long because I wanted something soft and snuggly around my neck, sort of like an extra turtleneck. So I hope you've enjoyed this series. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure to tune in each Saturday when I have my weekly podcast and occasionally other podcasts kind of interspersed throughout the week. So thanks again for watching and for joining me for this Knitting 101 series.